Good evening and welcome to the online version of our induction evening for 2021. My name is Mr. Coulson and I'm the head teacher of Coombeshead Academy. I hope that you are well and continue to keep safe. Unfortunately, we're still unable to welcome you as parents and carers into the school for our induction evening, but we will be able to run some of the induction and transition type activities that we have historically done in our school. I apologise if some of what you will hear in this evening's presentation is a repeat of what we went through in March, but you can't hear these messages too often, and I hope they help you to consolidate your understanding about how school operates. Many of the messages that you hear this evening will be placed in greater context over the next few weeks as we start the induction process and move into the start of next year. In terms of September, we're confident that our students will return to us as normal on Wednesday the 8th of September with all routines back in place, those pre-COVID-19 routines all back in place. If there are any changes during the summer, then those will be communicated to you via email or via our website. Please let me hand over to Helen Coulson, who will take you through the next steps of the induction process.
Thanks, Rob. Good evening, everyone. My name is Helen Coulson and I'm one of the Deputy Head Teachers here at Coombeshead. I look after all the pastoral elements of the school, including the Year 6 into 7 transition. I hope by now everybody's been able to access the parent portal and seen the new starter information booklet, which should answer the majority of questions that you may still have. Hopefully you've also been able to access the step-up booklets, which are for the students to complete and return to school. These go to their new form tutors and will help them to get to know a little bit more about your son or daughter before they arrive. Please can I now hand you over to Amy Brown, who is the Student Support Officer for Year 7.
Good evening, my name is Amy Brown and I am the Student Support Officer at Coombeshead for Year 7. My role is predominantly pastoral care, but I also do behaviour and attendance for Year 7. I am really looking forward to working with you and your child in September, and I hope you all have a fun and safe summer. Take care.
Good evening, my name is Thomas Emmanuel and I will be the Year Team Leader for Year 7 next year. This is a role that was implemented last year and is slightly different to the one that you may have seen in previous years if you've had a child come through Coombeshead Academy before. I will be working very closely with Amy Brown and the rest of the pastoral team, but my role will have a larger emphasis on creating a culture in Year 7 that will allow your child to thrive and become a well-rounded student when they leave secondary education at the end of Year 11. I'll explain this in more detail a little later on.
At Coombeshead, we're really clear about what our vision is and what we're aiming for with all of our young people, and that's built around our concept of inspiring excellence, getting our young people to be the best they can be in whatever field they choose to go into. We believe that at Coombeshead we're turning out the next generation of engineers, healthcare professionals, educationists, scientists, whatever they choose to go into, and so we work really hard to inspire them so that they can thrive. We do that within a setting of really great pastoral care and support as well, so that children feel included and are part of something, part of a family where they're cared for in order to be the best they can be. And what we're constantly working on is ensuring that quality of that curriculum delivery, teaching and learning is the best it can be, so that young people can absolutely thrive, because we want our children to go out into the world when they leave us after 7 years and get the best jobs they can and have the best lives they can. And that's where inspiring excellence means to us, and that's what inspiring excellence means to us. So we're only going to achieve that excellence by really holding true to a core set of values that run through us constantly, and these are built around what we call our peace values: our positive attitude, our endeavour, our achievement, and our community and our enrichment. And what you'll hear about this evening in the presentation from various different people who will be linked to your children next year is those values coming through and how we've shaped our school around the things that we stand for. The recent pandemics really tested our values of attitude, achievement, community and endeavour, but where they have been tested, I've seen our students and families and staff wrap around our wider community in order to sort of stand firm and make sure that again these values underpin everything that we do. I think it's worth at this point just introducing a little bit about our curriculum and what your children will study next year when they're with us. We set a really challenging curriculum. It's the core of what we do as a school, and when a Year 7 student starts with us, they immediately follow the full national curriculum, the full breadth of the national curriculum, and we're very proud of the fact that we cover that and more. From the first day they move to us, they'll be moving from lesson to lesson, and I know in the tours that I've done, in recent weeks I've shown lots of parents around who have been amazed at how big it is, how big secondary school is, and I've said to them, don't worry, do you know what, within a couple of days children will know their way around, students will be able to find their way around and find their way to all their different subjects, because we believe that actually that is how young people should learn. So let's have a look at the subjects that they'll study from September. So as you can see, it's a really broad selection of subjects. They'll cover that core English, Maths, Science, and they'll do a language, French or Spanish, depending on what they've chosen as part of their entry forms. And then they'll do a whole range of other subjects, which includes belief and values, computer science, geography, history, their PE, all of those different subjects will be on for them to do, and they'll do those in those specialist facilities around the school and access that really exciting next level of their curriculum where they're studying and doing all those things that you do in secondary school. Right, I'm going to talk about homework. I'm sure nobody really wants to talk about homework, but unfortunately it's something that we have to discuss. It's not the top of any student's favourite thing to do, and I know parents find it really hard to manage. So what we've done at Coombehead is make it as simple as possible by introducing something called daily homework, which is something that happens for an hour and a half, 5 days a week. The first section of that daily homework is knowledge organisers. So each half term, students will get a pack of knowledge organisers linked to all their subjects and what they're doing in those lessons for that half term. And they are split down week by week, and the students revise and revisit the facts that they need from that subject each day. They revisit 3 or 4 different subjects and revise those. And as you can see from that little graph at the bottom there, it shows you that if you revisit things over time frequently, then you retain that information. That information is retained into long-term memory, and it underpins the new learning that students are making as part of their everyday work. We will train the students when they start on how to do that knowledge organiser work and how to do that overlearning each day. They'll also have 3 lots of maths homework a week, which is online using Sparks, and that interlinks to what's happening in the classroom. Really, really great distributed practice and revisiting of learning over time. And they'll also do half an hour reading each day, which is linked to their AR program, their Accelerated Reader program in English. So homework is dead straightforward. Every single day, hour and a half, knowledge organiser work, Sparks, maths homework and reading, and it's really, really simple. It's then over to you as parents and carers to make sure that the routines and the routines are in place every day and the space is sorted for them to be able to do their homework. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Helen Coulson, who's going to take you through a few things to do with life in school, the kind of pastoral system life in school. Thanks, Helen.
I'm now going to take you through a number of slides that will outline the pastoral care at Coombehead Academy and give you an overview of our culture and our rules. We have a strong pastoral ethos at Coombehead Academy, which is underpinned by our Coombehead Way philosophy and our core values. We have a broad and experienced pastoral team that will be able to support your child and help them develop into confident, independent young people who are able to succeed inside and outside of the school environment. The team consists of form tutors. Your child will see their form tutor for 25 minutes at the start of every day. The tutor will get to know your child well and where possible will move up the school with them all the way into year 11. Form tutors are the first point of contact for any queries or concerns. The other member of staff they will have a lot of contact with is their student support officer, Miss Amy Brown. Miss Brown will oversee pastoral care, student attendance and behaviour concerns. They will also have a year team leader, Mr. Emmanuel, whose main role is to support their academic achievement, enrichment and rewards. The students also have access to Miss Jackman, who is our full-time counsellor, our attendance officer, Mrs. Collier, and our safeguarding team, which is headed up by Miss Chappell, one of our assistant head teachers. Another key area of support at Coombehead is our SEND department, which is led by Mrs. Claire Bamford. We also have an assistant SENCO, Mrs. Brackley, and a number of very experienced learning coaches that support students in lessons and within our specialist SEND area, the Learning Hub. There is also a quiet, safe area that SEND students use at break times called the Oasis. There are going to be different rules and expectations when your child moves to Coombeshead. One of these is around how we expect students to behave. With over 1,000 students at the school every day, it's very important that everyone understands and follows the school's procedures and routines in order for all students to be safe, happy, and to experience a calm, positive learning environment. New Year 7s will be taken through these procedures and routines numerous times, and staff will understand it'll take a little time for students to adjust and adapt. These procedures and routines come under our overarching culture that we refer to as the Coombeshead Way. The Coombeshead Way is built around 3 simple and straightforward rules. Number 1, turn up and be ready. Number 2, work hard. Number 3, be nice. The Coombeshead Way refers to the way that we do things here at Coombeshead. I'm going to break these down a little bit further for you. Rule number 1, turn up and be ready. This means students attend school every day. This is hugely important, as if they're not in school, they cannot learn. At secondary school, we expect our students to be a little bit more resilient, and even on days when students don't feel 100%, they still come into school. This also means they arrive completely prepared for the day. This would include setting up a routine at home. For example, they might go to bed at a particular time. They are going to be very tired in those first few months, so it's really important they get a good routine. It's also a good idea to pack their bag the night before, so they've got all the correct equipment needed for the next day, and to get their uniform ready so there's no last minute frantic searches for ties or shoes. Hopefully, this will enable them to get to school on time and be prepared for the day ahead. Rule number 2 is to work hard. Successful students work hard. Even the brightest and most talented students will not get very far in secondary school without hard work. This includes following classroom routines which are designed to support, allowing teachers to teach and students to maximise their learning. At Coombeshead, students will have 5 different 1-hour lessons each day. Therefore, it's key that students move quickly between lessons and settle quickly at the start of a lesson so that the teacher can start immediately. Our routines support this concept. Students need to develop their resilience. They need to practice staying focused, finding their own solutions when they come across challenging work, and developing good routines with the help of their parents around completing homework each day. Rule number 3 is be nice. This last rule is wider than just school. This is a key skill we would like students to develop across all aspects of their life. This is about the way students and staff treat each other at times during the school day. Key skills like kindness and politeness help your children feel safe, help them enjoy their time at school, and therefore help them study and do well academically. We like students to thank their teachers at the end of lessons, be polite and helpful to others, particularly when moving around the school, for example, holding doors open for people. We also expect students to be tolerant and respectful of others who may be different from themselves or have different views or different interests. In the new starter booklet in the parent portal are all the details around the requirements for uniform. Uniform is ordered online from a company called ProServe, details of which are in the booklet, and we believe that uniform is important for a number of reasons. It encourages the students to dress for success, to feel pride in their school and feel part of the school community. It reduces the scope for competitive dressing, which can be a source of much unhappiness for some children. It's practical and it saves the daily decision of what to wear. Please contact the school if you've got any queries or send photos in before you purchase items. We've already had a few parents do this very successfully. Please write your child's full name in every piece of uniform and on all pieces of equipment where possible. There is nothing more frustrating than brand new uniform being lost. The school does have a bank of nearly new uniform, so if you're interested in contacting us, please feel free and we can have a conversation to try to support you. Another point we would like to emphasise is ensuring your child comes to school prepared with the correct equipment. When all students have the correct equipment, it means lessons can start much more quickly and the flow of learning is not interrupted. The basic equipment students must have every day are the Super 7. As you can see, these are the student handbook and timetable. They'll get these on their first day of school. at least 2 black pens and 2 purple pens. The purple pens are used to mark and improve on their own work. They also need a pencil, a ruler, a calculator and their reading book. In the new starter handbook on the parent portal, it does point out a couple of calculators that would see them all the way up to GCSE maths level. Students may also want to bring other equipment with them, such as pencil sharpeners, rubbers, highlighters, Pritt sticks, colouring pens, etc. They will all be really useful. It's hugely important that your child attends every single day. There's a huge correlation between students who have good attendance and students who achieve well. The form tutor, student support officer and attendance officer all track students' attendance daily and will contact you quickly if there are any concerns with their attendance. At secondary school, we do expect students to be a bit more resilient, and on days when they don't feel 100%, we'd still like them to come into school. It's also really important that if a student is off school, you communicate every day with us before school starts to let us know what's wrong. All the details of this are in your new starter handbook. If you're concerned about your child's attendance, contact the school straight away and we will do what we can to put support in place.
Hello again. As mentioned previously, my role is to ensure that the culture in Year 7 allows your child to reach their full potential and ensure they leave here as a well-rounded individual. I'll be working closely with tutors, teachers and yourselves to support your child to make sure they have an environment that allows them to thrive academically. A large part of my role will be tracking the progress of your child across their lessons to identify where further support may be necessary and implement strategies that will put your child back on track or push them even further on. An important part of growing our students is making sure they have a wide variety of extracurricular activities. Academic achievement is in no way the sole purpose of school life. We actively encourage our students to participate in as many of these extracurricular activities as possible. These clubs and events will expose your child to situations that cannot be delivered in a classroom. They help to build leadership, resilience, camaraderie, self-worth, along with many other attributes that will enable your child to become a successful individual when they leave us. We encourage students to celebrate success in our community. We are extremely proud to have a number of students who compete not only for the school, but for the local sports teams, as well as Devon, the South West, and even Britain. This of course is fantastic, but what brings us even greater pride is giving a child the opportunity to try something new for the first time. And we at Coombeshead want to provide our student with as many of these opportunities as possible. Along with regular events that will occur weekly, bi-weekly or termly, here at Coombeshead, our students will also have opportunities to participate in a number of extracurricular visits and residentials, allowing students to build skills, experience new cultures, or enhance their understanding of a particular subject. It is important that our students leave our family with an understanding of how our world works and feel that they belong in the ever-growing international community. Coombeshead Academy uses the Accelerated Reader programme with Year 7, 8 and some older students to facilitate improved reading and literacy skills at Key Stage 3 and beyond. The teachers and librarian work hard at promoting and rewarding student reading progress. The AR programme is supported during break times, lesson time and within the library lessons when students may quiz and exchange their books.
Now, something to look forward to. We have booked a 2-day, 1-night residential to Adventure Oakhampton during the first week of October, subject to COVID-19 regulations. There will be a wide range of activities such as kayaking, gorge walking, orienteering, and many more. It's also an opportunity for team building, learning new skills, having fun, and making memories with new friends. We will update you on further details in September.
There is a summer transition project called The Big Step, run by Dan Leverton, that helps support the transition from primary to secondary schools. It's running the week of the 16th to 20th of August at Coombeshead Academy. You should have received an email with the details.
Massive thank you to Helen Coulson there and Thomas Emmanuel for their input into all those details about life in school. So thank you, and I know you'll get to know this team as you work with us over the next few years. We're going to turn to practical guidance now for what happens next in terms of induction and starting school and this whole transition process right through across the summer into the start of the new academic year. So I'm just going to hand back to Helen, who's just going to take us through the induction days and what she's got planned, because obviously we've had to make special arrangements for this academic year. Helen, over to you.
Our induction days this year have to be a little bit different. To be COVID safe, we have to keep students from different primary schools separate from each other. With students from 31 primary schools transitioning to us, that means that we are going to offer a day for some schools or an AM or PM session for others. All this will be happening the week beginning the 5th of July. Details have gone out to all primary schools and have hopefully been passed on to you. If there are any problems or concerns, do just contact the school. Students need to wear their school PE kit and bring a coat or a jumper or something warm depending on the weather. They'll need to bring a bag with them that has got a pencil case with equipment in it, a packed lunch and a drink. Parents can drop students off at school or allow them to walk or cycle in if you live close to the school. If you have a whole day session, can you please enter via the sports entrance? For an AM or PM session, can you please enter via the main entrance? When I say enter the school, obviously that's the students. We would ask parents obviously to remain outside for COVID safe procedures. So one of the questions you may still be wondering is, which day is your child going to come up and transition with us? I'm very much hoping you already know this information. If you don't, I will just very quickly run through which schools are going to be in which sessions. So first of all, the AM and the PM sessions. So Monday the 5th of July, the AM session, which is 9 AM to 11 AM. It's Ryden, Beans and Chudley Knighton. Monday the 5th of July, the PM session, which is 12 to 2 PM. That's All Saints Marsh, St Catherine's and Abbots Kerswell. If we jump to Tuesday then, Tuesday the 6th of July, the AM session 9 to 11 is Ashburton, Barton Hill and Shippey. And the afternoon, the 12 till 2 PM session is Bury Pomeroy, Holsworthy and Bishop Stainton. The next AM and PM one is on Friday, that's Friday the 9th of July. So the AM session will involve St Mary's Catholic School, Bickley Down and Haytor View, and the afternoon session, the 12 to 2 PM, is St Margaret's, Tor, Widdicombe in the Moor, All Saints at Babbacombe and Chudley Church of England. So for all of those students, it's 2-hour sessions. Please drop or collect via main reception. The other 2 days, which is Wednesday the 7th of July, those schools involved that day are King's Kerswell, Bradley Barton, Blackpool, Canada Hill, St Joseph's and Marlborough. And on Thursday the 8th of July, the schools involved will be High Week, Ipplepen, Denbury, Decoy, Bovey Tracy and St Michael's. So these are the full day, so that's 8:45 AM to 2:50 PM, and students need to be dropped off at the sports centre entrance. As we just said earlier, parents can't really come onto school site. Any further queries or questions, please contact the school. We really look forward to seeing the students. It'll be a great week, great few days for the students, and I really hope they enjoy it.
Thanks, Helen. So as you can see, the COVID rules that have been extended over this next month have made it more difficult for us to do induction, but we're determined to have an in-school experience for the students. Obviously, our current Year 7s didn't get that, and we really want that to happen. So thank you for your support with that as parents. So being ready for school is part of our Coomeshead way. Being ready, turning up, being ready there is part of our Coomeshead way. And we want young people to be ready, because if they feel ready to start secondary school, then that lowers anxiety, helps with their feelings of well-being and and good health, and supports, reduces anxiety with the start of a new school. So we've sent you lots of information about school, and that needs reading and signing and sending back if you haven't done that already. And a particular point about that, of course, is the first time this year we've asked you to choose the language that your child will study for the next 3 years or next 5 years or even 7 years if they do it to A level. So that needs to be included in what you do. So please complete the admission details and sign the appropriate forms and necessary permissions and get those back to us as soon as you can. Please read carefully something called the homeschool agreement, which in our view is the partnership between us. It's the kind of contract. You sign up to that when you joined us. So please read that so that it makes it much clearer if we ever have to, sort of talk to you about certain issues, or that you know what you've signed up to. Where this partnership is really living and breathing and active and live, then children thrive in school, and that's really the overwhelming majority of the children at school. They thrive because school and home work really, really close together with the same values at heart. If you're entitled to transport through Devon, then local authority will be in touch with you. And if you want to find out about transport provided by the school, so kind of our Ashburton, Bovey routes or the Torbay, Kings Kerswell route, then please contact the school at admissions at coombeheadacademy.org.uk. That's the main sort of portal for that. And don't forget to set up parent pay and get this ready with money loaded for the first week so that your child can buy food. The parent pay account is essential throughout their time at Coombehead. You need it for everything, so please make sure you get this sorted. Please be on top of uniform orders, making sure that you've got those in a timely fashion so that they're here. All the uniform orders should be delivered to you with plenty of time, so please make sure that you've got that sorted. And please check that equipment is there. You saw the Everyday 8 list from Helen when she was talking, so please make sure that the children have got their Everyday 8 list. Obviously they won't need their mini whiteboard, that's provided for them by the school, but make sure they've got everything else, including their calculator, and they've got the things they need. But the Everyday 8 list is something that I would ask you to do as parents, is check every weekend. Probably don't leave it till Sunday night would be my advice, but maybe on a Saturday morning, check their pencil case every week. Have they got the stuff they need in order to access their curriculum every day? So please check that on a weekly basis, and then when you're doing any sort of weekend shops, you can just make sure that you've got everything that you need. And then finally from me, sort out that space and routine for homework. There's an hour and a half homework, as I've explained already, so please make sure that you've got everything that you need in terms of space and the routine to make that happen. And all of that makes a massive difference to learning. And if all of those things are in place, plus the good attendance that Helen was talking about, then your child will thrive in secondary school with all that support that they get from you at home. So, as I've been saying, partnership with you is essential, and we know that the attitudes to learning with the school are fostered at home, and that makes a child more likely to succeed at home. So all the transition and support activities that we've put in place, as you can see detailed on this slide, are designed to build that partnership between school and home. So we've got our on-site induction, which begins on week commencing the 5th of July. And we've done that, as I say, in a COVID supportive way, but we will be giving the young people some experience of being in school. And then the return to school date is the 8th of September, and that's the first day of school when our year 7s and our 10s and our 12s will be in on that first day. And that, they're in school and they're through the gates and by their tutor rooms or where they need to be by 8:45 on that day. To follow that up, we've got a tutor parent evening towards the end of the first month. That'll be an online parents evening where you can meet your child's tutor and talk about any concerns you may have or celebrate the successes you've got. So that'll be an appointment online through our parent booking system, and you'll get details about how to book that. We then, after that first month, will hold our residential, and we really encourage and hope that every young person can go on that residential to Oakhampton. So it'll be a 2-day, 1-night stay over. They'll go as tutor groups, and they'll get that experience of team building activities and staying together and sort of building their links with each other as a group and building their links with the school. We'll keep in touch with you in terms of progress reports throughout the year, and they'll come 3 times throughout the academic year. So at the end of each term, you'll get a progress report, and then towards the end of the year, you'll get a subject evening where you can make appointments online to meet with all of your children's teachers and talk to them about the progress they're making in their subjects. What I would say to you is this is just information opportunities that we will reach out to you with. If you've got concerns and worries, the partnership is all about you getting in contact with us, staying in contact, picking up the phone, emailing your children's teachers, emailing any staff that you want to talk to. Do not, your children will stop talking to you as much as they go into their teenage years. So basically you have to do a lot of the reaching out, and we're here to answer those questions and talk to you. So that draws to the end of this presentation and this sort of pre-induction parent meeting. And again, I'm sorry it's not been in person in our theatre, that we've had to do it online, and I hope you've been able to sit through everything that you've heard today, and I hope it again helps you to understand a bit more about our school. I'd like to thank Helen Coulson, Deputy Head, for her input, Thomas Emanuel, the Year Team Leader for Year 7, and Amy Brown, the Student Support Officer for Year 7, for their contribution and sort of making their faces known to you, so you know who you're talking to. If you have any questions about starting Year 7, then please email us at welcome@coombesheadacademy.org.uk, and we'll be able to respond to them. If you've got questions about transport or uniform or anything to do with admissions, then contact admissions@coombesheadacademy.org.uk, which is the address that you've gone through over the last few weeks and last few months as you've been inducted into school. Other than that, can't wait to get started. Really looking forward to having yet another vibrant new intake into Coombeshead. At a really exciting time for us as we put back in place all of the stuff that we've had to put on hold over the last 18 months. And so it's a really exciting time to join us and be part of us. Anyway, have a really safe next few weeks and over the summer, and look forward to working with you over the coming 7 years. Thank you and goodbye. Thanks. Bye.